Welcome 13th jurors to another wonderful, what would we call this? Another wonderful episode of WTF.
WTF. This is my favorite night of the week. This is the one where we get to laugh and have fun and make fun of people. And all of our nights together are a joy with all of y'all jurors. But Sunday is my favorite because there's no heavy stuff. It's all just the ridiculousness. And I love it. I love it. It's my favorite. We have been keeping y'all updated with the growth of the channel. So I want to do this before I forget because everybody tends to ask as we're going through. So, and plus it's been kind of cool to go back and look at some of the videos and see where we were for certain videos and then how fast everything's blown up. So, our subscription count as of earlier today when I looked was 5,315, growing like a weed. And when I checked earlier today, we now have 350 members, 350 alternate jurors, 13th jurors. It's the best. So excited.
Yes, I'm really excited. And I think we have really quick our first person in chat. Do you want to announce who that was?
Yes, we have the imaginary throne that you get to take home with you goes to Shireen. First in chat, yes. You get to pick any color you want. It comes from IKEA. You put it together yourself in your imagination, and you get to keep it for a whole day until tomorrow when somebody gets to take your imaginary throne. So, congratulations, first in chat to Shireen.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to let you do the honors for the next thing.
Y'all are going to be so excited. You may know him from his YouTube channel. You may know him as a community member and 13th juror and recovery addict. You may know him from the Hot Cops and Trial Daddies calendar. Please welcome to the show, Mr. October, a.k.a. Matthew Harris Law.
What's up, everybody?
Better known as Mr. October in our community. How are you, Matthew Harris Law?
I am doing well. How are you doing tonight, lady cult leader? That's a mouthful to say, by the way.
It is. But I love it. I embrace the title. That was the funniest story. When I was first called that, I cracked up laughing on like Twitter for 3 days. So I had to embrace it. But yeah, but we should have put you, instead of putting you at Matthew Harris Law, we should have put you as Mr. October. But next time you're on here with us.
That just guarantees that there will be next time, right?
Yes, of course. So I know that a lot of our people already know who you are because you're around here with us and we all are in a lot of the RA community. So I know that a lot of people already know you, but for those who don't, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel.
You bet. Well, my name is Matthew Harris, obviously. I'm an attorney out in West Texas. I've been practicing actually Friday was our 12th anniversary. So
congrats.
I opened a law firm pretty much 5 minutes after bar results came out. We started off as a one-room closet. It was a desk, 2 client chairs, and you had to move the client chairs out of the way so that way they could get in and out just to open the door. We've grown over the years, and about 2 years ago, we decided that we wanted to start putting out content on YouTube for our clients because there's a certain amount of information that we just say repetitively, like, here's how you properly preserve text messages, here's how you get us information for court, and here's how you testify. And so we started putting together these YouTube videos just for our clients because I felt bad charging them $200 an hour just to give the same information over and over. And so I figured, let me put this on YouTube and send it to clients. Well, it turns out a lot of other people were interested in that same information. So we've been making channels for public education purposes for the last couple of years now. And the channel's taken off. I found a really great community here with Recovery Addict and here with your viewers as well. And so we're working to educate the public. That's our goal.
Yeah. I love it. And I know that some of your, like one of your most popular videos is how to get out of jury duty, which I still like. I tell everybody that because I think it's hilarious because we, when everybody shows up for our show, we tell them, like, we thank them for reporting to jury duty because we're the 13th jury. One of your most popular is how to avoid jury duty. So what are some of your other most popular ones? I know wills are a big one that you have.
Well, here, let me tell you something funny about that one. So originally, because all of our videos that we did in the very beginning started off as blogs that, as I was a brand new attorney with no clients, just waiting on the phone to ring, I'm just writing blogs just to put my brain down on paper. And the one that I wrote was how to avoid jury duty, which was very tongue-in-cheek. It goes into, all these men and women died for this useless right that no one cares about. So here's how because I go back into English law a little bit about how, the king used to decide everything. And you know what? If you want to avoid jury duty, just don't go. I mean, what's the worst they could do? Try you? Just ask for a jury because they will obviously be, they'll obviously feel sorry for you. And so that one caught a whole bunch of traffic on our channel. And I said, you know what, let me do a serious one about that, because all the comments were, because this was back whenever YouTube had a dislike button. And
right.
Everyone, that video, it broke my heart because everyone hated that video because I gave them no value with it. It just, you should go to jury duty and not be a terrible human. But, so I used all those analytics, and so I put together this one, which is the legal ability to avoid jury duty through the exemptions and excuses that are allowable.
Gotcha. That's funny.
The other videos that I really like. Let's see. There have been our medical marijuana video in Texas was pretty popular.
Of course.
The how to do a First Amendment audit, that one has been pretty popular. And we're working on some of them right now that I think are going to be pretty exciting. I got one coming up pretty soon about how to get the airline to pay you if they bump you off of a flight.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't turn on my notifications for that one because I've been bumped off flights before. That's perfect.
Oh, yeah, they owe a bunch of money if they bump you off of a flight. So we're going to go through all that and just how to get your money from the airlines.
Oh, okay. And we have you as a friend of the channel. So we have, I know we put up your stuff throughout the chat, and we have a link to you on the front page too. So
Shireen wants to know what your accent is.
We always click on the same one at the same time. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. It's a Texan accent. So I grew up in East Texas, and then I joined the military and traveled the world for about 8 years. And so it got a little bit muddled along the way, but it's finally settled back in a little bit. I have to depress it just a little so that way people can understand me, because if I go into court and start talking like Ricky, then the judge isn't going to fully understand me. By the way, I see Ricky in chat, love him to death. He's a local guy from around here too, but I've got to depress it just a little bit, just so that way people can understand me. Yeah.
I got that comment on a lot of my videos in the very beginning that was like, you need to stop sounding like a hillbilly. I was like, so then it gave me like a complex heart. So then I'm like, I try to make it a point to, tone it down a little bit, but when I get to go and you can't, especially if I've had wine, you can't understand a word I say. I need subtitles, but it happens.
That's how it goes.
What other questions do you see? I don't have my glasses on. What do you see, Brother Boomer? So let's do one more question before we get into our WTF moments.
All right. So there's a lot of stuff I don't think we have to say much about this, but there's a lot of stuff with these trials. What to you stands out kind of as a takeaway to either Letitia or Lori Vallow? Is there anything we can take away from, if there was something from your side or from your perspective, what can we take away from these trials?
I think the big takeaway for a lot of people here is how the criminal justice system works whenever there are obvious mental health issues. I think that both of these trials have serious mental health issues. I don't think that either of them rise to the level of insanity as a valid defense against prosecution. But one of the things that most people don't realize is that our criminal justice system is the first line of defense for mental health in our country. And I'm not going to jump on a soapbox around that, but it needs help. And unfortunately, police officers are the first line of it. And that doesn't excuse the conduct by any means, but you're seeing a lot of that right here, and you're seeing how it gets dealt with, because all of us have it in our family.
Yeah.
Everyone has
Yes.
someone in their family that's struggling with mental health issues. And whenever they make those mistakes, which, you know, a lot of us, we might give them a little grace. That's what we get taught in the South. You gotta hand out grace.
Right.
And so you might want to give those family members some grace whenever they're making mistakes, but you're seeing how the justice system treats them right now, which is with no mercy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I that's something that I really hope people take away from this too, is the concept of the difference between insanity and legal insanity. Like, it's two different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people mix those things up. So I'm hoping people are taking that away too.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Because
I
I've
mean,
said
all of
over and
us-
over, this heifer is nuts, but she's sane.
That's
That's
exactly what I was about to say.
yeah.
Sando wanted to know what branch you were in.
Oh, okay. So that's a hard question, because I was in the Air Force,
Mhm.
but I was stationed on an Army base for my first 5 years, and then a Navy base for my last 3 years in. So,
Where were you at?
so I was in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, with the 101st Airborne Division, and so I was a TACP, Tactical Air Control Party, which is a Air Force Special Ops. So we were stationed with the Army there at the 101st from 2000 until 2005.
Mhm.
And then I went to a special duty assignment on a Navy base out in California. And so
Okay.
I spent 3 years there with the Navy Seabees.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. My brother's Navy and my dad was career Navy 36 years. So there's a tie there. So that's why I asked. Awesome. All
Well, I
right.
appreciate their service. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Right back at you. both military and law. Thank you. Yeah, so Brandi, do you want to get going?
Well, that gives all the ladies that submitted you for the Trial Daddies calendar something else to think about. So there we go, Mr. October.
All right, I'll send you a picture of that too. How about
the
that?
military man. Yeah, yes, you can send. We'll add you. It'll be like Mr. mid-October. We'll put you on.
There you go. There you go. Just for you. I love it.
All right, so we can jump into the WTF moments of the week.
Yeah.
So this was a week full of voices, and some of them were soothing, and we even ended up having one of the smoothing voices that was admitted into the Trial Daddies calendar. Some of them were like nails on a fake Russian chalkboard, but the voices of the week provided us with some of our top WTF moments, and the first one has to be the surprise visit from the witness Batman. This is his. It's literally his voice. It's Batman's voice.
At 9:05 p.m.
He does have a Batman voice, doesn't he?
Receipt.
That's a good
I'm
point.
Batman.
For food and beverages, a cash
He
transaction.
does have a
in the amount of
Batman voice.
$8.15.
Oh my gosh! Now I can't unhear it. He does have a Batman voice. I hate my voice.
Just to clarify the time on that receipt.
That's good.
I may have heard you wrong. I thought you
Does
said 9:05.
anyone see Christian Bale?
No.
Yeah.
This name itself.
Does Christian Bale have an alibi for
It
this?
was 8:05 p.m.
That's a
No.
really good question. I don't know.
No.
I don't think he does.
And
Not at
actually,
all.
we don't have video of who was actually on the stand, so it could have been Christian Bale
Very
or
easily.
like and I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just thinking like, oh, he's got like one of those gruff voices, and then as soon as somebody said Batman, I was like, oh, you can't unhear that. But that was FBI investigator Rick Wright for the Lori Vallow trial, and it's literally Batman.
I just
Okay, here
I-
I've got conspiracy theory.
Okay,
all right.
I love a good conspiracy theory.
Okay, so Batman and American Psycho, Christian Bale was both. I think we have a real killer here.
Mm.
You know, that's a good point, actually. Hold on, I'm about to Google that.
I'm gonna go grab my tinfoil tiara.
No,
I'm about to go put that on.
Because he was in something else that was a killer thing too, wasn't he? This could actually be. You're on
American Psycho.
Yeah,
but
he
wasn't there
also.
another one?
Well, I'm sure. I don't know, but he also has a very short temper. We have all heard the audio clip of him raging on this on the crew. I'm not saying maybe it was just a bad day, maybe, but I sure wouldn't want to hear "get out."
Or or maybe Matthew Harris Law is on something, and we've like just uncovered.
Cracked the case.
Yes, cracked the case. Leave it to the attorney to crack the case. There you go.
We're coming for you, Christian. We're coming.
So I know you just did, Brother Brewmeister, you just did your Billy impression. That is actually one of our top WTF moments of the week too, and it's one of the things that we have not let go all week. We have beat this dead horse because it is hilarious. This is Dr. Dorothy Lewis as she's on the stand. Now she's on the stand. She's supposed to be the star witness for Letitia Stalk defense, and she's being asked about her interview that was in her book with convicted murderer Marie Moore, who kidnapped and tortured a teenage girl. She's talking about when she's been interviewing her for a while. Nothing's happening. She gets ready to leave. And then she did this voice, and this sweet little old lady did this voice. And we all, our jaws just dropped.
All right.
The guy was waiting outside, and I said, I'll be back, Maria. We'll talk again, but I have to leave. I got up and stood up, walked toward the door,
Watch
put
Letitia's
my
face.
hand on the doorknob and opened the door, and behind me, a voice said, "Don't go." And it was chilling.
I don't know what was better to the voice or RA's reaction, to be honest with you.
I loved it too when they had to go back, and the DA Young was like, so just for the record, can we just make a note that when you did that voice that I can't remember how he explained it, but he had to make a note for the record that she sounded like a psychopath when she was doing it. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. She's like this little elderly
lady had that voice in her.
No,
I don't know if she did either, and nor did the judge. The judge is very good at keeping a straight face, because no way could I have at all.
Oh,
And
gosh.
that's why I don't do that.
She's just like this little soft-spoken old lady on the stand, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Don't go!" Oh my gosh, we cracked up. And then every time somebody would, our chat goes late into the night, so anytime somebody would get ready to get off, and tell us good night, normally we're like, "Okay, good night, we'll see you tomorrow." But then we couldn't, so we were trying to do the "don't go." Well, I was trying, and I failed miserably. Brother Brewmeister's "don't go."
Don't go.
Oh yeah, it came from like the depths of her soul, apparently, because sweet little old lady sounding like that.
I know.
Bless her heart.
We need to get her like doing some. Yeah, she's chilling. There's no doubt. The chill is real. Like, I'd hate to be walking around in the house with her as like my mom or grandma, and then all of a sudden she's just like, "You can't leave. You can't. Don't go."
So here's what makes me laugh about all that is because for attorneys, we always sit down and kind of pregame with clients and witnesses to go over testimony. And I wonder if that's something that she told the defense counsel, and he was like, "Do that, but even deeper and scarier on the stand."
If anything, it wakes up the jurors, right?
Absolutely. All right, so then they had to practice. Okay, deeper. All right, about half an octave lower, please.
They brought in a vocal specialist to teach her how to do it. And
all right, we're going to go to the tape.
Robert De Niro came in to teach her. So
Yeah.
What?
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, look who it is. It's the other half of Mr. October right here. Well, hello. Hello,
There
Mr.
he
October.
is. Speak of the devil.
Speak
He's
of the
been
devil?
busy this weekend.
Oh, really? Yeah, because we tried to get in touch with him earlier, didn't we? And
He's been like taking videos and posting double rainbows and all kinds of things in Discord. It's been impressive. Some of the lightning stuff that he's pulled out is pretty cool. So that's
That
why
was
he's Weather
fantastic.
Watch, right?
hmm
Oh my
We
gosh,
trust him to watch it so we don't have to.
yes.
it's true. But we can
That
send a
should be
bunch
his
of
new channel slogan.
we watch it so you don't have to. Don't go.
Don't go. Oh, it's the don't go. Oh.
Don't go.
Laura Lee says y'all need your own month. I might have to split y'all up. I don't have a single picture of both. So I would need a new submission, like for each of y'all to have your own month, so that otherwise I have to keep y'all together because I don't have a picture of both of y'all separately. But from what I hear, we're getting a military picture from you, so that could go
I got
into
you.
that could go into your own.
I've never seen somebody solicit pictures directly on a stream before while live. I've never seen that before, but I'm quite impressed, Brandi. Well done.
Hey, I am here to
Well
give the
done.
people what they want. And this calendar has been like, I don't even think people care about the trial anymore. They're just here for the Trial Daddy's calendar.
I had some people just in passing be like, so are you going to sell it? And I was like, I feel
I
like
had
there's
so
something
many
about
people.
that, selling the likeness of somebody else without their approval, most of them. And I don't know if that would go well. I really don't need a lawsuit. So,
But it will be available for download. So,
well, free is free, I
Hey, if
guess,
you're not
right?
making a profit off of it.
right.
That's fair. Listen, if you say it's okay, I don't know. I can't say no.
Well, here, look, it's this easy. I'm going to sue you for using my likeness. Okay, here, how about I give you all of the profits?
There you
Yeah.
go.
That does solve the problem, doesn't it?
Yeah. And
Typically does.
speaking of our calendar and our Trial Daddies, we have a new admission into the Trial Daddies calendar this week as well. It
Yes,
started
we
out
do.
with Detective Daddy because the chat named him Detective Daddy, and this week we were introduced to Sergeant Daddy, who he is another, and this is our he's our Mr. January now. I do not know how to say his actual name.
It's Vincent Kayakamanu.
That was impressive.
That was, I'm like
Thanks.
actually a little bit stunned. Like that was Kaya Kanamanu.
It could be
Sergeant Daddy.
Kayakamanu. It could be Kayakamanu. But I know that there's a lot of vowels in there. But
So many vowels.
Yeah.
So many
But
vowels.
should we just go straight to the tape?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, we're gonna
Yep.
go straight to the tape then.
Yep.
Now, on the same day, I was coming home from clogging. It was about 9:15,
Dang.
and I backed into
Watch
the
the
front
watch the
driveway.
chat. The
I was getting
comments.
some items out of the back seat. We had made freezer meals at enrichment night, and my clogging shoes. I realized someone was by the back of the car. I looked up, thinking it was Dad or
Ish.
Garth to help me carry stuff in. Nope. It was a guy dressed in black with a ski mask on, pointing a rifle at me. I think I was a bit in shock because I just said, "What do you think you were doing?" Then I noticed a rifle was actually a paintball gun. It had a hopper on the top. The guy started pulling the trigger, and I could hear just
Everybody kept going on and on about his voice.
I just want to say, Brand, you are one step away from like twirling your hair in that clip. You are one step away. Don't tell me I don't know body language. You are one step away from the twirl.
Brandy's face is so red right now.
It was the beach today. It was the beach, I swear.
Yes, I am
Lord
sunburned
have
from the
mercy.
beach. Oh, goodness gracious. You know what's funny about that, too, is that one of our members is she's at trial every day. So she talked to him and she told him that we call him Sergeant Daddy, and he was not upset about it. He was not. So we are working on getting him to do like an introduction to say hello to the 13th jurors. So we may have a new intro coming soon.
Whatever it is, I'm guessing we're gonna have to wait. Well, maybe we can do it because Chad Daybell's trial seemingly is being pushed till June of 24.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing he's going to be in that trial too. I really don't want to mess with anything there, if that makes sense. Like, I'd hate to have him do something for us, and then they're like, something's wrong. I would hate that. I don't think, maybe I'm thinking too far into it. Maybe it's not a big deal. But yeah, I would love to have him be like, you're listening to the 13th juror.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
Or, you know, just
fantastic.
come on. Just come on. That'd be great. Well, we're about to cure you of your hot flashes right now with the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. Not all voices are as pleasant as Sergeant Daddy. So this week we got to hear Maria Sanchez give us one of the worst Russian accents that I've ever heard in my life, as she explains to Dr. Dorothy Lewis that she is trained to kill, and she know like cats. She's trained to kill.
She know like cats.
Ridiculous.
Because if someone was in the home, they were going to rape someone, they were going to molest them, they were going to kill them. I had to protect them. All I did, okay? And I hired a gun. I did not know, didn't have a safety. I didn't know any of that, but that's what I do. I'm trained to do that, okay? You're trained to kill, okay? You're trained to kill. That's what I do. But trained to kill. I'm trained to kill. That's what I do. Trained to kill.
Just an idiot.
That's what I do. Kill for a living, okay?
That's where I gotta stop because the audio is pretty bad. There's no recovering that audio at all.
That's how I roll. She literally
That's how I
said,
roll.
I am trained to kill. That's how I roll. What? You are... Ugh. And then the fact that, you know, she's from South Carolina. She sounds, you know, she don't sound like my type of Southern, but you can hear that twang. So then it's like she's trying to do, you know, she's a Southern chick who's claiming to be Maria Sanchez, but she's doing a Russian accent. And it's like, what? Pick an identity and go with that one. But she's so, oh gosh, it's nails on a chalkboard to me when I just hear her rambling on. It's like the worst.
Here's what I
accent ever.
missed. How long had she been in custody before that interview?
That was November of 2022. So for a while.
So
she was.
Here's what I now wonder: how long did her jailmate improv group practice this just for this to be the end product?
That's a good point.
The
whole thing with isn't the whole thing with improv just like the yes and? It's the yes and. You just keep going and going, and that's what I feel like Dr. Lewis was doing on the other side, just like yes and and.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed she just had way too much time to put that all together, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't quite understand how. Terry, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And I guess once she's on the case, which was like early, February, I think it was, maybe, it taking that long to actually get with them. And then she did like a prelim report before she even met her, I guess, off of the notes she had. Was that what that was? I think.
Cell Block C Live, that cracked me up. Sorry.
That made me laugh too. Sorry, I got distracted with that. Coming to you live from Cell Block C. It's Saturday night.
Hey, it's Saturday Night Live.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Betsy said, I've been saying that I hope they teach acting lessons in prison. Oh, apparently they don't. And if they do, then she needs her prison refund. Needs her ramen noodles back. Let's see. There was another funny one. I think I missed it. I'm trying to find it now.
Her jailhouse McFlurry.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you get to see that one?
Have you seen the jailhouse McFlurry?
I have not.
It was funny. We had that.
Everybody
on our
seemed
show
to like
week.
it. I do not mind. I do not mind playing it. again just for you. Just need to find it here. This is it. I think this is it.
Oh, Jimmy Lawson didn't get her Kool-Aid. You can have your Kool-Aid, Jimmy Lawson. Welcome. We're glad you're here.
All the Kool-Aid. All right, let's move this over here. Do
That's
this.
her improv
Oh,
class
boy.
did not do her hair. That was the penitentiary beauty shop, and they failed.
They lost.
I've seen
They
Orange
lost.
is the New Black. I know what's up.
They always look so nice, kind of. All right, here we go.
So today I'm about to show y'all how to make some prison Oreo McFlurry.
Prison Oreo McFlurries? You can't even get a McFlurry at McDonald's. How you get one in prison? Milk? Creamer? What are you doing with that? You're going to mix it up? I swear they be making everything in jail except for good decisions. Oh, you're going to pour it in a bag, okay? Salt on ice. And then what? Then you're going to put the bag, okay? And then, he's got a blanket. He's going to tuck it in like it's nighttime. And then shake it for 5 minutes because y'all got nothing but time in that. Okay. Oreos, crush them up. And then what? Then you're going to.
And now you got a prison-style Oreo McFlurry. I swear it tastes just like it, bro.
Welcome back to McPrison. I'm your host, Ronald McManslaughter. Got our milk?
Where's Ivan when we need him?
From jailmate to coffee mate. Here we go. I'm just gonna pour. I got the French vanilla because I'm outside the bars and I can do whatever I want. So I'm gonna get crazy with it. Okay. I have no idea what we're doing here, folks. You can't even go down the street to McDonald's to get a McFlurry because the ice cream machine's broken. But you can go to McJail to get a McFlurry in a McHurry. Make that make sense. Last week we made Jailhouse Laffy Taffy. This week we're making McFlurries. I'm about to make a whole damn cookbook. Call it The Simple Pleasures of the Penitentiary. Welcome back to Simple Pleasures from the Penitentiary. I'm your host, Donnie from the Yard. He poured a whole Dead Sea worth of salt in there. I tell you what, if I was in jail, they call me Salt Bay. On second thought, I don't want to be nobody's bay. He used a prison blanket. I'm using a blanket because Disney World is the closest thing I've ever been to jail. And now I'm going to shake it for 5 minutes.
It's not in the calendar.
Well, I thought I heard the guards. I was about to mix scurry. I'll tell you what, they'd McMurder me in jail. Okay, go ahead and beat your Oreos like you're beating your... Like you're beating your case, your court case. Beat your Oreos like you're... Huh? Welcome back to Did It Work? I'm Incarcerated Earl. It's chunky. No way. There's no way. No way. No way. Get out of... Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Get out of town.
How does that actually work?
No way. Welcome back to Would You McMurder for McFlurry. I'm your host, Shanky Sean. Wow. I am absolutely flabbergasted. Look at how amazing that worked. 1, 2. Are you kidding me? Okay, take me to jail and call me Jane because this is insane. I tell you what, it gets delicious on D Block.
JT, you have to make that next week you have to make that and record it and we'll play it, your version of that on our WTF show.
I don't have creamer.
That's his only objection.
That's your excuse.
I grew up on base. I'm used to sludge. That's all I drink. That is it.
He's like, I'm a half and half family till I die.
I love how the people in prison can make it, but JT can't get access to creamer. Okay, it's fine, JT.
I mean, I can. But the budget.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Get the show to pay for it.
Yeah. Okay. We will use a super chat to pay for the creamer.
There it is. Super chat for the creamer.
Oh my gosh.
Alyssa just
the creamer fund.
I can get creamer. I can get ice. I can get
No
salt.
excuses.
All for that.
No excuses, Alyssa K. You asked and Alyssa K provided. You've now got access to creamer.
And while you're at it, I think there are still, well, no, I think all the gifts went from Terry, but you can always hit exclamation point gifts, and it'll take you to the page where you can turn them on. I put that in last week. I just wanted to say that so I could fix that, and make sure everybody knows. Sarah Moore said $4.99 ain't buying you Oreos.
Yeah,
I think I could,
that's going to get you 2 things of great value creamer though, or you could go with top brand Coffee Mate and you're set.
there it is.
Yes. See, solving the world's problems. We're gonna get that. There's no excuses now. We're gonna get that.
Tish wanted us to know that they make toilet wine, and she had a client busted for that. So that sounds yummy.
We're not gonna make that for next week's show.
No. Not today.
None of that.
Oh, let's see. Oh, our next one's non-existent notes. I guess I'll have to take some notes from that video, but this one's non-existent. No, Weather Watch. Thank you.
Or Mick Creamer. He said Mick Creamer. That's hilarious.
We're gonna have to get Mr. McCreamer on here next time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right. So non-existent notes, set us up for this, Brandi.
Okay, so at this point, this is during the cross-examination of Dr. Dorothy, and the DA at this point is just kind of fed up with all of her antics, and they're coming back from lunch, and before the jury comes in, he made it a point to tell the judge outside the presence of the jury that he was about to question Dr. Lewis about some papers that were that he had been told were lost. They were non-existent at this point, and he said outside of the presence of the jury to the judge, he's like, I just want to make sure that when I go to question her about this, she's not going to be like, oh yeah, I have the notes, and then try to pull it out. So the judge agrees to, validate with her that these notes don't exist. So he does. They bring in the jury, and then she does it anyway. So this is that clip, and he was pissed.
Wrong, but if the court recalls, I was asking for notes and documents that were used during a portion of the interview that we're watching now this afternoon that the doctor had. Namely, there was a so-called confession that was written in Latin. Mr. Cellini informed me that those documents were lost, that they don't know where they're at, and that the Latin confession was gibberish. I just want to, as a precaution, I don't want something to come out of Dr. Lewis's box regarding these notes for the first time while she's on the stand, because I'm under the impression they're gone. I'm going to ask her about it, but I can foresee her pulling notes out and saying they're right here. Or words to that effect. And so I like I said, I have no reason to disbelieve what Mr. Cellini is telling me.
Well,
so you handed her a piece of paper and asked her to sign her name.
Yeah.
What happened to that piece of paper?
Thought that I had anything that. I will certainly find it for you.
Oh, wait a minute here. You just told the court that you don't have these documents. That you lost them. That's what you just.
There's probably, this is probably it.
Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have you step out back to the jury room, please. Guys, for the jury, please.
Look at him like hunched over, like I cannot believe this is actually happening. I cannot believe this is not.
If I was him though too, I would be so angry.
Oh my gosh.
And there's Backpack Man.
I missed this clip. Was this the defense attorney had represented that these notes had been lost and represented that to the court?
Yes. And she even confirmed. He had her confirm before the jury came in, and she was like, yeah, I don't know where it went. This BS Latin. Oh, hi, kitty kitty. You got a little friend. Hi, kitty kitty. This BS Latin confession. And she said, no, I don't know what happened to it. And then sure enough, just like he said was going to happen, she gets up on the stand in front of the jury, and she's like, oh, well, maybe I do have them. Maybe they're here in my stack of papers, and then starts digging for them. And so it's exactly what he said was going to happen. And oh gosh, it was funny though, seeing him like his like level of frustration as he's like gripping the podium, like bent over. Oh my gosh.
So one of two things had to happen there. Either she lied to him or attorney told her, you need to lie because we're both going to lie. One of those things has to have happened.
Yeah.
And so you might not know this, but attorneys can be disbarred for lying. Even though attorneys are well known for or portrayed in media as being dishonest, it is a disbarable offense to make a material misrepresentation to someone else in the representation of a client.
Oh, see, that makes me
Lose your
so
license,
curious.
lose your livelihood.
Yeah, I would love to know who was manipulative in that situation, because one or both were, and
So after the trial's over, after the verdict, the judge can get to the bottom of that. The judge can say, okay, we're going to have a show cause hearing. I want to find, because there was a misrepresentation made to this court.
Mhm.
It's on the record. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to find out. And whoever's lying is going to be found in contempt.
Oh, wow. Is that what they said? Because they said something about he wanted to make a judicial note. Is that what he called it? A judicial something?
You can take judicial notice of certain
Judicial
facts.
notice. Yeah.
Right. That's usually for just if there are facts that are not disputed by anyone, the court can take something called judicial notice, like the cost of airfare on AmericanAirlines.com. The court can just take judicial notice that, okay, if you're telling me that's what's on the website, because everyone can go and verify it just like that without, very much effort.
Gotcha.
But that's different from what I'm thinking of, though. That the judge could hold a show cause hearing to determine whether or not someone should be found in contempt.
Yeah.
We need a follow up to this. Really, we need a follow up documentary to see what happens. I feel like there was a lot of behavior in the trial, and we'll actually hit on some more of it tonight. But
Yeah.
there was a lot of behavior that could be called to attention. It just takes kind of a replay of some of the video, and it's very evident. And I think Judge Werner was staring daggers at that side for quite some time of this trial. If I did like a time, like if I track the time, a good chunk of this trial, he was spent looking at that table.
Yeah.
And most of it was for Letitia, I'm sure, after the whole bird. But there was also a lot of other behavior happening that I just didn't find appealing, professional, but I don't know,
The snuggle.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and get to that? Because that's actually, that one was coming up in a couple of them, but can we go ahead and skip that? Will that throw you off, JT,
No, not at all.
If we skip that? Okay. Because Letitia laughing with and snuggling and all of that crap. This is one of those things that made me so mad. I was literally sitting here working on stuff for Valo and on this monitor, and I had that stream up on this monitor, and I'm looking over and I'm like, oh, I am not seeing this. And I pulled it up and I'm sitting here screenshotting, like, I know this is not happening. I was seeing red. I was so mad. And then and I'm sitting here thinking, like, how is this even happening? And I'm listening to the search history and the things that she's searching, and I'm like, you have no right to be laughing. And then her attorney is sitting there going along with it, laughing along with her, and they're basically like, head to head. Oh gosh, it made me so mad.
My favorite thing about this is that he, of course, after this got up to cross the witness, right? And he he slipped in, like, we were sitting there looking at the search results, and I was like, way to slip that in what you were looking at, sir. That was clever. Well done. Should we watch this and then we can either comment as it's happening, etc.?
Yeah, because I would love to hear Matthew Harris-Law, your take on this.
Oh, wait. It'd help if I showed it.
As it relates to the South Carolina phone.
Ugh.
Because the other relates to the Colorado phone.
Mr. Cook?
No objection, Your Honor.
You sure?
Exhibit 703.
I bet there isn't one.
720, 721, 722 will be admitted. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, it's infuriating.
And permission to publish 703 at this time.
You may go.
Look at that. Super inappropriate.
Remind us
JT.
first before we get started on People 720, the date range.
Can you superimpose a plate of spaghetti in front of them, Lady in the Tramp style?
Lady in the Tramp. I
Yes.
sure can.
Yes.
Sure can. That is going to have to happen, and then we will post it for sure. And you get the credit. You get
Yes.
the credit for this.
If you need an alternate, like a
This is
milkshake with 2 straws.
We might have to do both.
We'll have to go to we'll have to use just a snippet real quick from RA's feed because it's much better than this law and crime one. But but yeah. Wait, why is that not going away? Go away. I had muted it, but let's
96 that are
quick.
relevant to this case.
All right. Do we have, it looks like 5 searches that are relevant to this investigation that occurred on February 19th of 2020?
That's correct.
Tell us the first search on February 19th, 2020 and what time?
1:22 p.m. The defendant searched Crime Online.
What is Crime Online? Do you know?
It's the Nancy Grace show for nationwide exposure crimes.
And was there reference to the defendant being in contact with the Nancy Grace show during some of these recorded phone calls that we heard?
Alleged. We don't have any proof that that the defendant spoke with Nancy Grace.
What is the next search on February 19th of 2020?
At 3:49 p.m., Palmer, period, Harold, period, Colorado, period, Springs.
Is Harold misspelled there?
It
Ugh. Every time he leans over, I just hope his chair falls.
Jeez.
Look at that. That's ridiculous.
There's
So
like
disrespectful.
I just there's nothing that they're talking about in terms of search that's funny. Now, they might be looking at some funny results, but that's not what's being discussed.
No.
And again, I want everybody to know that I have nothing against him for being a defense attorney at all.
No.
Not at all. It's the behavior that gets
Yes.
me. It's the behavior. And I hope people can, I hope everybody can distinguish that because we obviously know great criminal defense attorneys like Bob Mata, etc. But yeah, it was just too much. Yes, Boots was definitely like, they're not with me.
Yeah. That position that Letitia had in the beginning of the trial before she got in trouble and had to sit in timeout between her attorneys, when she was like all the way at the end of the trial or all the way at the end of the table, that's where Boots went. Boots was like, I'm just gonna sit over here and like not be with y'all.
It worked well for her.
Boots is over there trying to grow his hair out and trying to put up the hair wall.
He wants to get his own hair curtain to hide behind. Okay, so as an attorney, what are you like? I know I'm sitting over here fussing about it. What's your take on that?
Okay, so as attorneys, we have to humanize our clients. And whenever you have a client that isn't generally very liked, one of the things that we'll do is we'll walk over and we'll put a hand on their shoulder and say, let me introduce you to Bob here. And like, so Bob's a family man, go into some of Bob's personal life, humanize them, make them more than just plaintiff defendant, because the other side will go out of their way to not use their name for the purposes of dehumanizing them. That's where they say the plaintiff is just seeking money. Well, no, Bob is seeking compensation for damages that he suffered. Bob, the defendant, is a family man, has made some mistakes, but he didn't do what they say that he did. This goes so far beyond that. Just in my opinion, you're still a professional.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of clients, a lot of, and it goes both ways. Clients that turn into friends, and I've got a lot of friends that have become clients. And so even through that relationship, whenever you're up there as an attorney representing them, you have to still have that arm's length distance, because what you're doing as an attorney is you're saying, all right, everybody gather around. Jury, I'm an attorney. Trust me. I trust this guy. And so you're lending your credibility to your client for that limited purpose.
Yeah.
whenever you get to buddy, whenever they are, sitting there arm in arm and sharing shoulders, you're no longer lending credibility. You are now on her level. Rather than bringing her to your level, she has brought the attorney down to hers. And so he now loses credibility with the jury. So whenever he's saying, everybody gather around, I'm an attorney, trust me whenever I say this, they go, I've seen how you've been interacting with her over here. I don't trust anything you say anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, if it had been like a much softer version of that, like where they just leaned in a little bit or something, or they just laughed together once. But the fact that, there's searches going on about, she's trying, like searching, do they, search under bridges, because that's where his body ended up. And do they, how do I do a face transplant so that I can go on the run and all these things? The things that she's searching is so that she can get away with murdering an 11-year-old child. And they're sitting over there, all up in each other's junk and giggling like school children. And it's just infuriating to me. And I feel like, I definitely understand, like, oh, look, we can laugh together and she's, human. Not the right time. And it went way too far. So I think you're absolutely right. I think it definitely did the opposite of probably what he had intended for it to. Oh, so mad.
Well, and
so
if
mad.
it had been something funny that popped up, like
right.
Just like she had just terribly misspelled something that popped up and they were showing that, and the courtroom laughed and he laughed with her and he just puts his hand on her shoulder or patted her on the back, something like, look, don't worry, we all make mistakes like that. That is gold right there. That's what every attorney hopes for. But this wasn't one of those moments. They were going through some terrible evidence, terrible search results, and they're over there giggling. That's just it lost a lot of credibility and ended up hurting her, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think excited utterance brings up an interesting point, and one that, there's a balance here in terms of the judge saying that the lawyers were professional, like in his closing instructions. But I feel like Judge Werner is very much I'm going to let this finish and then I'll address it so we don't make a spectacle, which I think is probably the best way to do it, because if he makes a spectacle, all of a sudden there's just a whole bunch of things that can be pulled into an appeal, etc. Like he made them not like them or something like that. And I think he's much smarter than that, to be honest. Obviously, I like him. I like him as a judge. I think he's reasonable, and I really enjoy his explanations. I've learned a lot in this trial, more so than a lot of other ones. So, how do you feel about Judge Werner?
I think he's been a very good judge for this case. He's very even-keeled throughout. He doesn't react harshly, even whenever we were all sitting there just grinding our teeth going, nail her to the table.
Yeah.
Even then, he was still very mild-mannered in it. And as an attorney, I always appreciate that. Now, I bet you that back in chambers for the attorneys that have, because I think both sides have made a couple of mistakes in this. I can't remember so much from the prosecution, but I remember there was something earlier on that I was kind of annoyed about with the way that they had handled something. And so I think that whenever he pulls them back in chambers, it's probably a much more stern conversation. But that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to praise in public and discipline in private.
Yeah. And I did like, as that situation happened, the prosecution pulled a total, like, it's the way that I would handle passive aggressively joking or laughter or talking in a classroom, where it's just like he's going through stuff and he's like, I don't know what's so funny over here, Judge, but this is happening, and then keeps going as if just to bring attention briefly and then take it away again. Now, I don't know if that's a professional thing to do. Maybe you should just ignore it. But for me, it just it hit the right nerve for me, I guess, because that's exactly how I would handle it in the classroom. Yeah. Well, but we did talk, and I'm going to slide this one in here, Brandi. We did talk about Judge Werner and how he's kind of even keeled and things like that. And the one time that the one time he did the thing was about the furniture. If anybody remembers, the furniture comment. And
I've had this conversation before. Don't move furniture in my home around. All these electronics, everybody's using them for all kinds of different things. If you run them over a wire and it gets disconnected, nobody's going to be using your electronics. So that's why we have it the way that we have it set up. That's why you need to ask before you start moving things around. Wouldn't be right if I went into your office and started moving stuff around either. So let's not do that.
He had me straightening my own stuff. I was fixing my own wires. I was like, let me not let anything get run over.
Heaven help you if you touch the thermostat in that courtroom. You don't pay the bills around here.
What am I cooling the whole neighborhood? I don't think so.
Oh my
It's just
gosh.
so good. Just so good. Yeah, and every now and again during that point and some other ones, it seems, I know he's looking down, but it totally looks like he's looking right at the camera. And I felt like he was just peering into my office at how disheveled it was at the time. And I was just like, all right, listen, I'll go get the broom. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know, just that admonishment. It just seems like he has that touch, you know.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't be moving a chair at all anymore. So
I actually had that happen on a trial one time where I pissed off the judge bad.
Oh, no.
Really?
he was upset, and we're on Zoom, and so he can't really stare me down so much like we're in court, but he got close to his camera and like did this. And I'm just sitting there going, all
right.
Just bigger on my screen. And I can't feel your breath, Judge.
Is that like the equivalent of like a little kid looking like big face down at like an ant or something? And it's just
exactly
like, no.
what it was.
Jeez Louise. I mean, I guess if that's all you've got, if that's all you got, then I guess that's what you go for, I suppose. There's a small situation. Everybody is worried that Snuggles is gone. I know that's completely off topic, but that's because my son asked if he could have him back, and that is why he got Snuggles back. So that's why that happened. And now we can move on to more crime.
Yeah, Snuggles being gone is not a crime. It was not stolen. No. We are not investigating. We know the culprit, and he's a little mini brewmeister.
Yes, he is mini brewmeister. All right,
so
next one.
Our next WTF moment is okay. There's been so much talk on Twitter about whether or not she has a degree. Does she have a degree? Does she have a doctorate? She says she does, but she sounds like an idiot all the time. Could she really possibly have a degree? And so this is one of the funniest moments because this is just more antics with Dr. Lewis, of course. And the DA asks her about her diagnosis of Letitia and how that affected Letitia's ability to get her degrees and stuff. And the doctor threw her under the bus for her degree, and she snuck in a dig against her husband's, who she, knows nothing about. So this was one of our other funny moments.
But we do know that she got a softball scholarship, that she got her doctorate's degree, that she...
Would you explain the doctorate's degree, where she got it and how?
Do you not know that she got a doctorate's degree, doctor?
I don't know if you count it the same. It was over the internet, and it was like Coursera or something like that. I think that you need to look at that a bit.
You know more about it than I do. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Okay.
No.
Well, it was.
That.
I don't know, some of those big boxes.
Watch the videos. It's not on videos.
It's not there. I don't know, but that's where she says she got it. Right?
But anyway, that didn't impact her ability to go through college.
Yeah, it did. Her college was also, I believe her degree was a computer, an internet.
And she succeeded in life, had a daughter, married twice.
Wow.
Right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere.
Why would you say succeeded, married twice? This is not a victory.
She didn't murder anybody. She didn't murder anybody within that 20-year period.
But she managed to marry some really unpleasant people. I'd say those were big mistakes.
And just coincidentally, you
so did
come
I,
involved,
but-
and now all of a sudden this event that happened 21 years ago is the cause for her killing an 11-year-old girl. Is that what you're telling us, jury?
No, I'm not telling you this.
Then why is it relevant?
All right.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. She throws a dig at the husbands, but she has not talked to anybody in the family. She doesn't know like she hasn't gotten any background information on anybody. She doesn't know anything about the husbands. So for her to just be like, oh, she's married some really unpleasant people and had some, terrible marriages and all these things that have happened. Okay. She's taking her word for it. And obviously her word is not exactly, reliable. So, but the online degree thing and the crappy husbands was hilarious. Look, I happen to marry some unfortunate people as well. And, and I did not she's an idiot.
You didn't murder anybody, so
I did
you're
not
doing pretty
murder
good.
anybody. I didn't. I
Not
got.
that
I
we
got a
know
divorce.
of.
I got a divorce like a normal person and went on about my life with no murder involved. So, she's an idiot. I get so mad. I get so mad at her.
So everyone keeps picking on her, on poor Letitia here, because she's such a big idiot, but yet she has this doctorate. I don't know if you know this, but you have to have a doctorate degree to be an attorney. Did you know that?
Right.
Mm-mm.
So that is law school is for a juris doctorate. It's doctorate in jurisprudence. I know a bunch of attorneys out there who are absolute idiots. So it's not impossible, is what I'm saying.
Oh man.
Well, there you go.
Now everybody who's possibly watching this that knows you is just like, God, I hope it's not me. Oh geez. Oh, does he mean me?
I tell them. I promise. I'm not shy about it. I let them know, you're an idiot. This is not how it works.
And that's what I appreciate about you. I'm waiting for the moment where Matthew Harris Law is just like, JT, come on, man.
We'll put the list of the ones that he thinks are idiots. We'll put a list up on the site later.
My thought is that she probably grabbed this box doctorate from like Goodwill and it was Trump U. And like it was just like I could have picked any name. That's just the one I know has a school or had one. And that's just like where she got it from. And she was like, oh, let's see if this still works. But I don't know. There was I got confused a little bit just because there was the name Liberty thrown around. And obviously Liberty is it's a school here in Virginia. And I know that they do have an online program that is pretty legit. So I'm guessing it's a different Liberty. That's my thought, but maybe it is the same Liberty. And I think the wrong things about the online school. Liberty has their own problems. They have a lot of issues over there. But I got a little bit confused there. But yeah, she's not the only one that kind of messed around with the truth and schooling. It looks like Dr. Lewis had some issues with the MRI and EEG stuff.
Oh my gosh, this was hilarious. Hilarious. Yes. She complained several times that she was unable to conduct the MRI and the EEG, and she blamed the courts, that the courts would not fund it. And she said that she needed this in order to do her diagnosis of Letitia because she needed to be, and she even says in her book that, the psychiatry part of it is kind of like a soft science compared to the actual, science part of it. So that if she could see the, brain dysfunction from these two tests, she needed that to do her diagnosis. So she complained that she wasn't able to do it, but yet she still did her diagnosis anyway. And then she kind of got busted. So this clip has actually two parts, one from Thursday and one from Friday. So Thursday was story number 1, and then Friday was her getting busted.
So here's story number 1.
Say that again?
Do you not recall being asked to come testify with regards to why you needed an EEG done and an MRI done in this case?
I do not know what you are referring to. I have no idea what you're referring to, because I would have been pleased to at least talk on the phone to the judge or whatever. I begged to have these things done. I can only tell you that. And I would have spoken to anyone who wanted to talk to me about it.
Well, you were contacted well before February 2022 on this case, correct?
Absolutely.
And you were contacted before Ms. Stout pled not guilty by reason of insanity, correct?
Right.
And she pled not guilty by reason of insanity on February 11th of 2022, correct?
I'm assuming your dates are correct, yeah.
And you didn't do anything on this evaluation until November of 2022?
I worked as hard as I could to get these. In fact, I called the neurologist for free, Dr.
For free.
James
For
Marikangas,
free.
to discuss the case
A
because
saint.
I could
A
not
saint she
get
is.
funding from this court to get these tests done. So I called and discussed it with him. I contacted Catherine Yeager, Dr. Yeager, the neuropsychologist with whom I've worked for 30 years, and worked with her and spoke with her and got as much data as I possibly could. And I begged her attorneys to get this. And their answer was that the court would not pay for those tests to be done. I had never heard, in fact, I said, I've never heard of this before, but it did not occur to me to pick up the phone and to call the judge. I didn't even know who the judge
Boots is
was,
looking
but I was
very
told
nervous
I could
in
not
this.
get this and that I must get something in by then. So I didn't even call my initial contact a complete report on it. But
He's looking at his
I'm trying
wallet.
to see what I called it. I called it initial psychiatric impression, right?
Right, yeah, because you wanted that information before you rendered an opinion as to insanity, correct?
That is true.
And
That is true.
yeah, at this time, I'd like the court to take judicial notice that on October 13, 2022, the request to have an EEG done, an MRI done by defense was withdrawn, and we did not go to hearing on that.
Mr. Tellini, defense position? Court will take judicial notice that on October 13 of 2022, the defense withdrew its request for an EEG in this case,
As well as MRI.
as well as an MRI.
Were you ever told that?
This is news to me right now. So
News to her. She did not know.
And of course, if this would have been done, it would have been 3 years after the crime happened.
Oh my gosh. So that's
They're
part
not
one,
laughing
obviously.
over there at the defense table now, are they? No laughter over there now.
No laughter.
They
No
know
laughter
what's
in the
coming.
champagne room. Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. Well, anyways. Oh, this second part's only 13 seconds long. We'll just do this real fast. This part two.
And I think we should drop the EEG request.
This is her email.
What does that mean to you?
rest of it, know the timing of it, and know what I was thinking about at that point that was both.
She's just cut all of it.
It's literally her email to the defense saying, "Oh, we'll just drop the request." It's literally her email, and it got cut off. I probably put the wrong timestamp on there, but it got cut off. But he's asking, is this your email? Is this your email? She's like, well, I don't, and she's doing what she does. And then finally he was like, okay, Judge, can you tell her to answer the question? And Judge's like, it is a yes or no question. Is this your email? Because they're all fed up with her at this point because she's not answering anything directly. And it was darn sure her email. And she's emailing saying, you know what, just go ahead and cancel the request for those. But yesterday it was news to her that the defense pulled the request. Busted.
Yeah.
Busted.
There's a good question in chat from Annie Pistol.
Yeah.
Here, I'll wait till you find that one.
I'm scrolling.
What did it say? Where is it? Oh man. Maybe I'm here it is.
There we go. Okay, so unfortunately, whenever you're appointed to represent someone, you don't have a whole ton of money. Usually the defense experts are just beggars can't be choosers. You get whoever the state is willing to pay for, and that's about all you get. And so this may have been the best expert that they could get for the money allotted to them by the court, because you have to go to the court and ask for those funds. You have to go and get that approval before you can hire those experts. The defense doesn't just go out and pick Dr. G to come in and explain these things, who would have done a much better job here of explaining a lot of this. And they say, all right, here are your pennies. Go and find someone. Best of luck. Godspeed. And she's probably been within these circles for this amount of time because she's in that price range for obvious reasons.
Is you're right? Yeah. Would it also be difficult? I would imagine it's also a little difficult because the experts also have to take a look at the case itself and see if it's probably good for their career to be an expert, right? Is that something that they think about?
Well, okay, so most of what you guys or anyone in chat or anyone that we get to see in court, what we're all exposed to is what we call testifying experts. There are these other experts that we call consulting experts. And so you always start off all of your experts as a consulting expert first, because that's not discoverable. You don't get to dig into the consulting expert to find out what they really think, because you might pick out a few different consulting experts that look at your facts and they say, here's my opinion based on XYZ. And if only 1 out of your 5 supports your defense theory, that's going to be your testifying expert.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily that you get one shot at it and it better be somebody that supports your theory. But ultimately they do have to support your theory. If they don't support your theory, they're no longer your expert. Why would you want that?
Right. No. Yeah. And it's funny because she supported their theory. And then when she got up on the stand, I feel like she no longer helped them very much.
No.
I feel like it went south. So, well, listen, Mr. Matthew Harris Law, I know you've got to get going and we're going to continue on. However, I wanted you to give a chance. I wanted to give you a chance to plug your stuff and let people know where you're at and where they can find you. And if there's anything they can expect
from the Trial Daddies calendar.
Sure. Aside from your profession.
If you need to find me before October, you can find me daily on our YouTube channel, which is Brandi, your laugh cracks me up.
It's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious.
Okay, so if you need to find me, I've got a YouTube channel at Matthew Harris Law PLLC. We put out videos every single Thursday. It's an alternating calendar, so we'll do long form 1 week and then a short form the next week. So every other week, it's either a short or a long form. The one coming up this week is how to get your parental rights reinstated after termination by CPS. So that one's going to be really interesting, really new law in Texas, and it's going to help out a whole lot of families. But we do a lot of CPS work. CPS defense is one of my passions, believe it or not. So I love protecting families. I love protecting parents' rights. And this is going to be one of those videos that I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
I have somebody who lives in Texas whose son is going through this right now. I might have to connect you to, actually. If that's something you do, which you can DM me about, that's fine. But she does live in Texas. Right before you go, and I know you got to go, this was one last question I think is really good. Have you already expressed your opinion on whether or not the jury should have come back with a verdict on Friday?
Honestly, I think it's probably better for the jury not to have come back with a verdict on Friday, because I think that they are going to come back with a guilty verdict, is what I ultimately think. And they know that if she's found guilty here, that she's going to have life without parole. I know that this is not a death penalty case anymore. It could have been, it should have been. It's not. That's where we are. And I think that is going to weigh heavy on the jurors' minds for the rest of their lives, because we've got 12 people making this decision that have to live with this decision forever. And so I would rather them take the weekend to process it, to make sure that is what they want to do, before they return that verdict. And honestly, I'm less worried about them going home over the weekend and changing their minds and all of a sudden getting a soft heart. In fact, it's one of those things that, and we all know this, it's human nature. We remember the slights more often than we remember the friendly gestures out there. And so all the lies, that's what's probably kept the jurors up over the weekend, is all those lies have built up. Whenever they wake up in the middle of the night thinking about this case, they're not thinking about how friendly she might have been earlier on, or any of the other testimony that might be friendly for her. They're thinking about how she lied during the interviews.
Yeah.
They're thinking about how she lied to the therapist, or not the therapist, but the doctor. And I think they come back even more upset Monday morning. And I think that we'll have a pretty fast verdict Monday morning, is my honest thought.
Yeah. And, they've been so good. The jury has really impressed me, because the questions that they come up with are things that are very thoughtful and very, you can tell that they are on it and they are paying attention, and which that gives me a lot of hope for their verdict too, because I feel like, you can't get anything by this jury based on their questions. Like they're putting a lot of thought into this. So that makes me feel confident in their decision that's coming. So
this is the first case that I've ever seen where the jury has asked questions. And personally, I love it. I wish, and I want to look at what it takes for us to get that in Texas. And if it's barred or not, or if it's a case-by-case basis, because I want to start doing that. Usually we don't get those questions until, while they're in the middle of deliberations. And I've had cases where they're deliberating, they send out a question or two, and all of a sudden the other side says, can we make a deal? I would love to have that halfway through the case where they start grilling the witnesses. Because if I've got a hard-headed client, sometimes I can go to them and say, they know. they caught on. You need to make a deal.
Yeah. I think that's such a great idea. I haven't seen this before either. And I think it's such a cool, and it makes so much sense, and it's just the things that they've been asking have been so great. And it makes so much more sense to be able to clear things up as you go, as opposed to waiting till the end and be like, okay, so what questions y'all have from the past 2 months, or however long the trial is. So I think it's great, but yeah, I love it.
Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us. I know it was a little bit last minute, but we had a heck of a lot of fun with you, and I hope you had a little bit of fun with us.
I absolutely did. I always love your chat, love your channel. Great personalities between the two of you. And you know that you will always see me back here next time you need me.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good night.
Y'all say goodbye to Mr. October.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. That was so much fun. That was so nice of him to come on. Oh boy. Well, the other thing that I was thinking, and I wanted to let him get going. But the other thing I was thinking about the whole jury questions thing is that whenever I'm in a classroom and I'm teaching, if I ask them to do something as I'm teaching, like think up questions or, come up with 5 and then submit them at the end, that keeps them focused.
Yeah.
And that's something I think it's brilliant. It's a great way to keep the jury involved, because they're like, oh, I got to think of a question, especially if they really want to do the right thing. So, don't go. But yes. You guys check out Matthew Harris Law. A couple of times through, the command's been dropped, ! Lawsuit, which maybe is not the right thing for Matt. He's so nice. He's so fantastic. His website is one of the best ones I've seen, in terms of his practice. It's just so, wholesome is really what it is. He just really cares. He really wants to work with people. And that's
I think it's
awesome.
really cool that the whole thing that got him started on the YouTube channel and stuff too, is that, like he said, he didn't want to charge people to, give them advice on things that are such common things to help with families and stuff. So that's really cool. So we love him here, and he will definitely be back. So
yes.
And he had to get going, but we do still have a few more. So
we do.
We are getting now down to some of our top WTF moments.
Oh boy, including a special guest. A special guest will be coming on. Another one.
We have one more special guest that's coming. buckle up, jurors, because that one's coming. So our next clip is this one had Twitter all laughing hysterically and wondering what the heck is going on. One of the many things where we want to know what the heck is going on. But Dr. Lewis is interviewing Letitia / Maria / Victoria / Taylor. And the video is playing in the courtroom, and the DA asked her, DA Young is showing the video, and he asks, who's this guy in the video?
And here we go.
Okay, we're not talking about him, Dr. Lewis. Please keep watching. Freeze it. Who's that person right there?
I don't recognize him.
That's not your son? You don't recognize your own son?
Because he was running the camera.
He was
Sorry, I'm going to take a pause. That's the face right there. That one. That's the face. Oh, that literally all 4,500 to 5,000 people were making at the exact same time. And that is why we like RA. That is exactly why we like RA. I am going to now hit play again.
I don't recognize.
Well, telling the camera, Dr. Lewis, he's going out the door when the camera shuts off. What is your son doing in the interview room?
Well, particular interview, we had asked when they put it her, and I'd asked her could have been.
They should have kept her in the stand for this audio.
Yeah, you can't.
Look at the judge. The judge is like.
Is that recognized within the field of psychiatry?
Honestly, that is the face of this show. That is the WTF face of the century. Oh my gosh. I just can't believe it. It's just so wild to me that was even allowed to happen, as if that was like a normal thing.
What's so funny is that she's like, when he's like, who's that guy? And she's like, oh, I don't recognize him. And then when he's like, you don't recognize your own son? And she's like, oh, well, yeah, because he was in there running the camera. And he's like, okay, but the camera is still on and it turns off while he's, after he walks out. So he's obviously not running the camera. So it's like she got busted twice right there. Once say she didn't know her son, and then the second time, oh yeah, he was just in there running the camera. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Take your son to work day with your crazy patients.
It's just like, it's wild to me. Night, Ivan. Yeah, there's a lot there, actually. It is, and I think it is. Unless Tisha had signed a release, an ROI that also included him or something to that degree, I believe that is indeed a violation. In fact, the lawyer shouldn't have even been there. I think it's said by multiple people, including Dr. G, that lawyers are not typically in the room for that. There's no real reason for it. Yeah. And so that's something that she could get hit with, I think. And here's the funny part about HIPAA, and this is my background in healthcare in terms of HIPAA, right? And I could be wrong about the actual violation, but this is not. So when the government notices a HIPAA violation, they will not only get the initial violation, but they'll find sub violations on top of it and they'll tack them all on. And then they'll say, okay, here's all the issues. We can go to court and it's going to be this, which is like, I don't know, $2 million. Or you can settle now for $500,000, right? And so I don't know what's going to happen. Yes, that's how it's spelled. HIPAA. It's not hippo, HIPAA. And so, yeah, it's quite confounding that she even thought that was a good idea. But that's another thing that kind of plays into, I think RA had mentioned the whole concept of him being kind of manipulative or controlling the son, and him being like, I've got to be there. And if I'm not there, then we can't do this.
Yeah.
So, somebody should look into that situation.
I'm sure they will.
I hope
because
so.
there was some outrage about that. So I'm sure they will.
Yep.
And of course, speaking of outrage, because there's been so much outrage about so much that has happened with this, you know, Dr. Dorothy Lewis was supposed to be the star witness for the defense, the one that comes in and seals the deal for them to prove that, you know, that she has DID, that she was not sane at the time, which Dr. Lewis couldn't even actually say whether or not she was, because she didn't know about Colorado law, which is mind-blowing. But however, so with all of the antics with her being late and her not answering questions and her getting things wrong, the DA had pretty much had it, and shots were fired in the closing arguments. And that's our next moment.
Motive. Didn't see motive in the elements of first-degree murder, but you see it here. Money is a strong motivator. Having shows on HBO, strong motivator. Having your son videotape evaluations on a first-degree murder case that's gotten quite a bit of publicity for perhaps another documentary, motive. You're gonna do a documentary if she says she's sane, sorry, did what I could. Acting. Not as good as, well, not as bad as Robert De Niro, I guess she would say, but she's acting. You also have to look at her demeanor and manner while testing. She wouldn't answer any of my questions. She wouldn't answer my questions because she didn't want you to know the answers. She wanted you to know what she wanted to say. She shows up to court late.
Oh man. He came with the fire.
When
With
he
fire.
said the narcissistic thing, I was sitting here again. This is like while I'm working on one thing and I have that one on another monitor. I was like, oh, he did not just say that. I like rewound it because I thought I must be hearing that wrong. He has to be talking about Letitia, but no, he was talking about Dr. Lewis being narcissistic personality. I was like, woo, woo.
Right.
That got a little shots fired. Got a little spicy, as RA would say.
a little bit spicy. A little bit. I liked it. I liked it though. I mean, call it out for what it is, right? Call it
Yeah.
out for what it is. You might as well.
Yeah. Jams is not a fan. Jams is not. I don't know if y'all follow Jams on. If y'all follow. I said follower. Look at my daddy coming out of me. I don't know if y'all follow Jams on Twitter, but Jams is not a fan of Dr. Lewis. In case y'all missed that. Yeah, talk about a narcissist. Yes, that was indeed spicy.
Well, we've done a lot of LS. We've done a lot of LS. I think now it's time to hit a little bit on the daybell.
Yeah.
Dumbbell, daybell.
Speaking of spicy, that's a good way to get right into the Valo daybell. Because you know what else is spicy? Tacos. You know what's even spicier than that? Satan tacos.
Oh, we're going to the Satan tacos?
Let's go to the Satan tacos.
Satan tacos. Here we go. Get ready for them Satan tacos.
You know, at that time, Melanie was sick. And so she was just calling to talk to her aunt. And everybody just happened to be on the phone call. And so they started, you know, the one thing that stands out was Lori said she folded Satan up like a taco and sent him to Antarctica. Lori said
and then John Thomas said,
was able to catch him out by folding him up into the shape of a taco and locking him in a box in Antarctica.
And did that make any sense to you at the time?
I gotta make a graphic.
And boy, did you ever. Boy, howdy, did you ever. Let's bring that up, shall we?
It's the Satan taco getting kicked to the curb to Antarctica.
Oh, Cajun, do you want us to play that again? We can play that again.
Yeah,
It's a
play
short
it
clip.
again.
Let's play it again, Sam. Play it again.
Oh my gosh.
You know, at that time, Melanie was sick. And so she was just calling to talk to her aunt. and everybody just happened to be on the phone call, and so they started. The one thing that stands out was Lori said she folded Satan up like a taco and sent him to Antarctica. Lori
And
said
then
that
John
she
Thomas said,
was able to cast Satan out by folding him up into the shape of a taco and locking him in a box in Antarctica.
And did that make any sense to you at the time?
My favorite part was John Thomas saying at the end, and did that make any sense to you at the time? No. She folded him in a taco. She put him in a box and she sent him to Antarctica. That's what. See, there's the global warming, right? That's why the ice caps are melting. Satan is in a box in a taco in Antarctica.
Devil tacos are melting the ice caps. Devil tacos are melting the ice caps. Oh my gosh. I had so much fun with that graphic. I literally could not even wait until we logged off. I was like, BRB. I got on my other monitor and literally started making a devil taco go into Antarctica graphic, because who can wait for that? Because, oh my gosh.
Well, listen. I'm going to go get the other guest. Do you want to go over that last one? That do you want to go over this one real quick while I do that?
Totally missed that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yes.
All right. Let me hit play on this, and then you can chat about it right afterwards.
Okay.
That he did on that day is on this piece of paper.
There were some other searches as far as, if you'd like me to go in that, I can.
Yeah, tell me everything that was on that day.
There were
starting
other
from
searches
midnight.
of
Talking over the top of each other.
Okay. Starting from midnight, tell me every search that was on October the 10th, 2019 that came off of this Google account.
I'm not sure starting at midnight, but there were several searches of trannies. There were several searches of pornography that I didn't think was pertinent to this slide to bring in today.
Okay. So what you're saying is there are a lot of other things that were on this Google search that was done throughout the day rather than these particular searches that you made.
Correct.
Okay. So I guess what I'm saying is we're not trying to mislead the jury to say, hey, this guy is a government and he's looking at this specific things all day long. This is all he's doing. There's a lot of other things he was doing.
Correct.
A lot of other things. He was busy. A lot of other things. Who had trannies and pornography on your bingo card? So this one was really funny because he left this off the PowerPoint because he wasn't going to bring this up. You know, these are Alex's searches and he wasn't going to bring this up. So he's telling him, he's like, are you sure you want me to say this? And John Thomas like, yeah, go ahead, say everything that was on there. And he was like, well, he did some searches for trannies and pornography. Now, keep in mind, this whole trial, first of all, whoever's into whatever, do your thing. But can you imagine being in a courtroom where the audio is being broadcast to the whole entire world and you are having to talk about searches for pornography and trannies in front of like this incredibly religious group? Oh my gosh, it was one of those things where I had no preparation in my soul that was coming, and you could see it on my face. Yes, I am sure Laura Lee, he probably does regret opening that door. Oh my gosh, it was one of the top moments, and I wish that I could see John Thomas's face. I wish I could see Lori's face. I wish I could see everybody's face in there. Oh, definitely a fun moment on the show. We all were like, what the heck just happened? One of the funniest moments. But you know what? Sergeant Daddy did try to leave it off. And we have one more. No, I don't think anybody was prepared for that one at all. At all. Speaking of a boatload of cringe, Our top WTF moment of the week is exactly that. It is a boatload of cringe. And if y'all missed the stream the other night where we had the fiery romance novel that Chad Daybell wrote for Lori Vallow, if you missed it and all of its glory, boy, do we have a surprise for you. I would like to welcome, if y'all missed the cover that I did of the Harlequin cover that I did of the novel Loin Fire, well, I have a surprise for y'all.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I do realize this is going to be clipped to hell.
What?
And I'm going
You
to
need
lose
to
my
be bigger.
job.
Hold on. You need to be bigger. You need to be
Oh,
bigger.
well.
Hold on. Wait. No,
There you go.
Whole thing. No, whole thing. Hold on. I'm removing myself.
So serious. I'm not sure if I'm Pippi Longstocking or the guy from the front of your book. I'm not sure. Why, hello. It should be mentioned that my wife wondered why I had a wig for this stream, and I did explain to her that it was to read some things, and she said, "Did you buy it just for this?" And I said, "No, it was in the attic, and no, it was not originally mine." So, but we've got the buttons. There's way too much JT here, so
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
it's the beard, right? It's the beard. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Where's the the Harlequin cover of Loin Fire?
Hold on, I'll find it.
Oh, I think I put it. I thought I put it. Oh, it's in the folder.
It is in the folder. Oh,
because
there it is.
you are spitting image.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You all are so welcome.
I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable right now.
This is what happens when you have no shame and you'll do anything for a stream.
It's beats all my Letitia hair.
If you like what I've done for you tonight, feel free to drop a super chat in.
How are you gonna pimp out super chats looking like that?
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's so great. It's so great. Oh, it's
Betsy
amazing.
said, JT has a neck, though.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So I think I need to read some of this, right?
Yes, we have a dramatic reading. Oh, our stream is not over. We have a dramatic reading of Loin Fire by Brother Brewmeister.
Did you have any specific part that you wanted me to do?
You do you, boo. You pick whatever part you want.
Well, this certainly isn't the outfit I'm going for in the calendar. That's for sure, Holly. But thank you very much. Thank you, Marilyn. I'm starting to feel those dollars. I'm starting to feel those dollars being thrown at me. Except in this case, it's just a bunch of change. People throw change at me, not dollars. They're just hoping that they hit me in the face. Hoping that they hit me in the face. Thank you all.
God.
I was totally kidding, but I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no to it. I did sell my dignity, not for $25, just for 35 cents. For 35 cents. All right, let me see if I can find.
Oh my god.
All right.
my
Well, let's hop in the middle and we'll go back. Oh my god, y'all. John Thomas, you're killing me.
Yeah.
My face is as red as this wig. That's what's... are the best. I love you all. I love you all.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Oh, just wait till I start reading this. All right.
Wait till your wife finds out that
This
Oh
isn't
my
this
god.
isn't wait, this is
Oh
live?
my god.
Oh crap. I've done weirder. All right.
It's all you.
The feelings were very strong, as if they had known each other for oh so long. They didn't get many chances to talk after that, because he had to help voice a woman's blue Muppet. But he watched her every chance he could. He had to stay at a relative's house that night, but he hardly slept. He kept envisioning himself with Elena in very wonderful situations that indicated they had been more than just friends. It is. This is my OnlyFans, everybody. This is it. Yeah, Blue Muppet. That has happened. All right, so let's see. Let's go a little further.
Oh my gosh.
She straightened the books and gave the books great reviews. Thanks, Rockin' Dawkins. Although she made him laugh a lot when she kept pushing the youth and fifth volumes of his first series. Hold on, we're gonna skip some more. Let's see.
Alex would be swiping right.
For anybody who joined us, I'm not going to explain it. This is just how it goes. All right, here we go.
Oh my god.
The erotic tension continued
Ew.
throughout the afternoon. James could only think of her. His desire for her was indescribable. Thankfully, she had worn 16 layers of clothing to survive the 80-degree weather, so he was not fully aware that she truly had the body of a goddess. Her dimensions were exactly what he had always fantasized about, but that revelation would have to wait a month. Oh, here we go. This is how we know. This is how we know. In that short embrace, though, he knew he had found the woman. Oh my God. He knew he'd found the woman he had searched for his entire life. It was made crystal clear to him that they had been married before and would be again. He once again had to fight off a powerful urge to kiss her and somehow disguise the massive erection he was experiencing.
Ew, that's so gross.
That was the end of chapter 1. Hold on. We got to get into chapter 2.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Gene Sparks said even his loins are smoking.
Oh, man.
Amos said, who needs Detective Daddy?
In Jerusalem, James and Elena had enjoyed tremendous intimacy. Their physical desire for each other was unmatched, and they were fortunate they could be alone morning, noon, and night, and they seized every chance to passionately express their love to each other. They simply could never get enough, even after many years of marriage. Everyone knew they were crazy about each other, and they were a wonderful example of how spouses should cleave together in love and unity. Spouses should cleave together? What? Thank you, LJ. I appreciate it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Betsy said, can I unsubscribe?
The hotel was only a short distance away, and he invited her into his room. We're not going to do that. They were soon standing alone in the room, and he put his arm around her and looked into her gorgeous blue eyes. They hungered for each other, and he leaned forward and fulfilled a promise he had made to her a few days earlier. He gently kissed her tender lips, and the same heavenly electricity filled his entire body. I don't know if I can go any further without vomiting on screen. I just don't know.
Oh my god.
Let's see, there's a lot of embracing. There's a lot of feeling like singing.
Oh my
They went
god.
to, after the ceiling, they went to lunch together.
What the hell is a blue muffet? What the hell's a
I don't
blue
know what a
muffet?
blue muffet is. I don't want to know. I really
Oh my
don't want to
God.
know. I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't.
Oh my God. This is the best thing that has ever happened.
That is the lowest
Oh my God.
that's the lowest that my shirt has ever been buttoned. Cajun,
my
don't
God.
go there, Cajun. Do not go there. Don't go there.
Oh
Man, what
my
a
God.
day. What a day. Oh man, I didn't think I was gonna get you all hot and red. Really, just red and embarrassed is really what that is.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Kim, you're behind in the stream, but I can't wait for you to get to this point. You're gonna love it. Don't you wish you had a portal right now? She's gonna go watch. Oh, God.
I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable.
Don't worry. I think if you're uncomfortable, I promise you that I definitely make up for that and double it.
Oh my
Double it.
God. Oh my God. I can't wait for your wife to see this. I can't wait for your wife to see this.
Wait. Your wife is a lucky lady. Believe in yourself. Thanks. I'm going to say this right now. That wig is going right back to the attic. It is never seeing the light of day again. Not ever. Nope.
Oh my God. Oh,
I
I got
am not
tears
the
in my
milkmaid.
eyes.
Doesn't fly that way.
Oh, I got tears in my eyes.
I appreciate all of you. You have no idea. Thank you so much. I've taken the mascot thing too far. Little did you guys know, this was my plan all along, putting the spit take sus photos. That's the whole thing. That's what that was. Dean and Lisa. I don't. You ever seen Goofy when he flexes and it just goes? That's what that is. And Lisa. I can't.
Oh
Although
my
I will say this:
God.
the truest thing in the world is this one. And I promise you, it will go in his graduation slideshow. It will. I will
my
make
God.
sure that there is at least a screen cap. I don't even.
Oh my God.
Where do we go from here?
Annie, I'm so sorry.
Where do we... Y'all. Well, you've made it. You've made it through this episode of WTF, and boy, did we put you through the ringer.
Oh my God. My obnoxious laugh.
The
Oh
ringer.
God.
Absolute ringer. Good grief.
Oh my God.
Well.
Oh, I've got tears in my eyes. Oh my God. That was amazing.
Polly said we can only control so much, people. We can't control this.
Oh my God.
Indies. Those were not provided by us. Oh, Ivan's actually not wrong on this one. Nope. Nope. You probably do. I probably do.
Oh my God.
My psychiatrist loves me. We'll just go with that.
Oh.
It is.
Oh
It's
my God.
WTF Inception. We do WTF within the WTF.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That was amazing. That went so much better than it did even in my head today.
She said about an hour before this or 2 hours before this, it'd be really funny. And I feel like inside she knew I had a wig somewhere.
I did.
And she said it'd be funny if you. She said it would be really. She said it'd be really funny if you had a wig and a button-down shirt that you could unbutton. And I was like, well, I probably have a wig in the attic, and I definitely have a button-down shirt. I'll look for it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That is troublesome, is it not?
Look, the things that go on in my head, I'm aware. It's not normal up here.
It's
Oh
no
my
different than
gosh.
whatever else goes in everybody else's head. Yes, join Discord. I'm there. I'm all over there. I'm not in a wig, but I'm there.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes
was
Annie's in a
amazing.
beard, but nobody saw this earlier, but it very much confused me because I just saw the screen name of Imposter JT or JT Imposter or something to that degree, and it was Annie with that photo, but she had superimposed a beard on her. All right, we should Rico
Look.
JT.
Alyssa said she's in. Where'd it go? I'm literally in an Uber on the way to dinner, but there's no way I can miss that jam. I hope you can still enjoy your dinner with the loin fire.
Yeah, please, please get some brain bleach before you eat, just so you don't, it's important. So.
Oh.
He's going to want to come on the show now because I would pay for anybody's college tuition at this point. Yep.
Oh my God.
So just to let you guys know, we'll be back tomorrow with more audio. I think obviously we do this every Sunday as well. On top of that, I think what I'm going to start doing, and Brandi, you knew I was going to do probably something called sidebars where I bring like one-stop shop cases, like one episode cases. I may be doing, I'm thinking I might do those cases for members, so it's a members only video, so you guys can access those. That sounds like OnlyFans, but it's not. But it will be some stuff. The first one that I'm going to do is it'll be talking about false confessions, and we'll be talking about the Norfolk 4. So feel free to look that up if you want, but I'll be recording that and be putting it up for members only. So if you are interested in becoming a member, take a look, hit that join button, or you can be gifted as well. But anyways, so yeah, if you liked what we had tonight, now that I stop by our merch store, I'm sure at some point Brandi's going to cut me out of a video and put me on a bug. So that's going to be great.
I'm still crying. Oh my God. Oh
it's like a really, really suggestive club right off base. Right off base. Because there's always one right off base. Anyways.
This is my favorite show. This is my favorite show. Oh my gosh.
Well, y'all, thanks for stopping by.
Thank y'all so much. We have so much fun with y'all. Please, if you can, like our little video and subscribe if you haven't already. And we appreciate all y'all's support and for enjoying this shit show with us, because we sure do have fun.
Michelle wants an encore, maybe next week.
I don't know if I can sit through it again. Just rewind.
Lisa, you don't want an English accent from me. It's not great. It's not fantastic. And it could go in and out, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. And I think, Brandi, do you want to say your closing?
I have no words. Thanks for reporting to jury duty. I can just keep picturing you with the butt.
And finally,